The poor man mentality is, oh, I don't want to give my competition anything because then he's going to take over all my business. If a little kid comes up and goes, oh, can I have a snow cone? We would say, didn't you just have one a second ago? It's not like we're like, here, open your mouth. We're going to pour the syrup, down your throat. So if you had the VR racing on it.
Oh my gosh, that makes such a cool pair.
You're going to make mistakes. As long as you learn by them and you grow, that's how you become a successful person. If you think you can or if you think you can't, you're correct.
Bill, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's a pleasure to have you. This is the Not A Panda Podcast, where I am going to just get to know the person behind the professional. We're going to talk about your business a little bit. I'm pretty excited because you have one of my favorite pastimes of video games on the roster.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Very excited about how this is going to go. With that said, go ahead and give the audience an introduction to who you are, what to expect out of you.
Yep. So I'm Bill South, and me and my wife own and operate Level Up rolling video games, and we also own Foam-nado foam parties.
Sweet.
We cater to mainly Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton, Sarasota, and we like to stay in the Lakewood Ranch. That's kind of who our main customers are, and that's kind of who we focus on. Really, is in this area. So we have a shop and an office in Lakewood Ranch off of University.
Okay.
So it's so if a customer says, "What are you about?" What does your truck look like? They can always come into our shop.
You have like a physical location.
We have a physical location where our trailer and all of our equipment is housed. Inside, and it also makes it easier for when we have to download new games and upload and
makes sense.
Have to do updates and all that kind of stuff. So
that's all business expense anyhow for overhead and whatnot. But
exactly, yeah.
No, that's awesome. So it's those are the main two that we're working with right now is the rolling video games and then the foam.
And then the foam, correct. Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
So those are the main two entertainment type business that we're in. Yeah.
Right. Are you looking to expand that? Like, are you always kind of hunting for other pieces that you can incorporate?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Yeah. We're always adding on. We're always adding on new things. We're always making sure that we have the correct and the best products and services.
Right.
That's in our industry, right? I don't have much competition as far as the game trailer goes.
I wouldn't think so. I've only seen maybe one.
Yeah.
Other person.
So there's one guy in town, and I'm not. He's not even on my radar. So
right.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't even worry about that guy.
I mean, if I read correctly on your website, you've done several hundred different events at this point. So it's like apparently it is not slowing you down.
No. I don't. So I don't worry about my competition at all. I actually want to, engage with them and collaborate. I mean, I think that's the best thing.
I mean, you're only one guy. It's like
there's tons of parties to for everybody.
Yep.
From Bradenton to Northport, right? Yeah. So I mean, there's quite a few companies who do the foam. Mm-hmm. That's a recent add-on for us. Like this is our first summer in it, and we've actually had that company out to our office. And we've talked to them and spoke to them about their business and kind of what they do
distributors
and things like that.
That's
Because you never know in business. I mean, things happen, and I would want somebody that I can depend on. Hey, I'm overbooked. Mm-hmm. Are you able to handle this customer? Right? It's just it's good customer service all the way around.
Yeah, that's been my philosophy on it. I don't know why, but a lot of DJs can be really insecure about competition, and I've just always had the philosophy that I don't believe in competition as a concept. As far as I'm concerned, there are innumerable customers right here in Florida that I either don't want or just can't serve or aren't a good fit for whatever reason. And so as far as I'm concerned, there's more than enough for everybody, and it's just a matter of having the people who want you in particular find you.
Well, I mean, not only that, they're coming, and they're here.
Yep.
So there's no need to sweat and to be all upset that you have competition because you're going to have it.
Yep.
Now, should you, maybe reach out to them and you see what they're all about? Of course, right? Check their pricing, check exactly what they do, what their services are, what they provide. Because when I did all the research for the rolling video games, that's one of the first things I did. I went on to see who's my competition, what they look like, what they do, what they provide, what they have. And I just said, I can do it better.
Right.
I mean, I owned a bounce house company years ago in town. And so I have that entertainment experience. And I just knew that I could have a better looking trailer. I can have better games. I can have better service. I can have better add-ons. And that's what we pride ourselves to do. So, all of our stuff is not, cheap Walmart stuff. It's all expensive gear and it's expensive. Our VR sets are they're the expensive stuff. It's not the it's not the cheap stuff. Because that's the entertainment, right? I mean, we have to make the parents happy, but in this line of work, your customer are the kids.
Right. And you also have to be able to answer the question, why can't we do this ourselves? Yeah. And definitely getting like a luxurious space with high-end equipment is something that some people they'll never have access to those sorts of things on a casual basis. So tell me about what it's like on the inside of the mobile gaming truck. Because I've seen one. I've done an event where that was one of the elements that was featured there, but I've never been a guest to actually like go inside and do any of it myself. So how does that play out? I guess there's like couches and TVs and stuff.
So in mine, we have an inside outside. So we have an outside where the awning opens up and there's two 55-inch TVs. And there's Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5s out on those two TVs. And then we also put up a tent. The tent is all logo. It's colorful. And we put out benches and things like that. I also got a portable AC to put under the tent to make sure everybody who plays out there is nice and cool, which is what a lot of people don't do. But it's crazy important, especially here in Florida.
Yeah, you want people to be comfortable.
Yep. So when you walk in, it's totally climate controlled. We have 2 rooftop ACs. So you can hang meat in my trailer. It's nice and cold inside.
Nice.
When you first walk in, there's a long red and blue limo bench. That's where all the kids sit. I have also got a beanbag at the very end of the trailer, so a kid can sit in the beanbag. Inside there is 5 55-inch TVs, and each TV is a station, right? So each station has an Xbox X, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch 2.
Nice.
So when you walk in, there's the not strobe lights, but the LEDs, the flashing LEDs that are colorful.
Yeah.
All the TVs going, the music going, and you walk in, you're just like, wow. Like this.
You feel like you're in a fancy like tournament setting or something.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, all the parents, they're like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. Yeah. Like, what a great idea.
How does the sound work? Is it coming just locally from the TV, or do you have like surround sound or something?
So each station has their own sound bar.
Gotcha.
So whatever game they play, it's in surround sound.
Sick.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
So, okay, when it comes to the video game side of it, what made you get into that? I imagine you have a gaming background or something.
I wanted to get back into the entertainment space, but I didn't want to do bounce house.
Makes sense.
I'm in my 50s, and that's a young man's game. I'm not going to be out there rolling up 500-pound water slides, and I did it for a long time when I was younger.
Yeah,
and I just didn't want to go into that space. Plus, it's so saturated. When I sold my business, my bounce house business, I think the final straw was people were just popping up everywhere.
Yeah, and
they were like renting bounce houses for like $100 for the whole weekend.
Right.
And I was, I do 4 hours for $150 at the time, and I was like, I'm not gonna play this game. So, anyways, I sold it and got out of it. So fast forward to now, I wanted to get back in it because kids sell, man. Birthday parties sell.
There's always people who want to be entertained.
The two biggest things that people spend money on are their kids and their pets.
Yep.
And so I was thinking, what can I do? So I saw the game trailer in my town. I saw it a couple of times. I'm thinking, that's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah.
So, I went on and I looked, and this was before I decided to pull the trigger. I went on and I looked. I was like, wow, this thing's expensive, but it's cool.
Right.
And then I just kind of moved on.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went back to it, and I did more research. And then I was like, yeah, this is a cool idea. And I was like, well, what's it going to cost? How do I get started? Things like that. So once I figured all that out, I went ahead and pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
And we've been balls to the wall ever since. I mean, it took, I don't know, 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months for the trailer to be built.
Right.
And then when it came to me, I did my own add-ons and touches and installation of consoles and things like that myself with some add-ons.
Yeah. So you have like a company that fabricates the trailer for you, and you just buy it from them? Got it.
Correct. Yep. And, it makes good money. I mean, we charge $485 for 2 hours.
Dang.
And we roll up, we have a little bit of setup to do, like the tent and, things like that. But other than that, and we sit there for 2 hours, let the kids play games. And so
it's a great option.
We do have a game coach who handles the inside stuff. I handle more of the outside. He handles the kids on the inside.
Yeah. I saw that. What does that mean functionally? Is it just like essentially a supervisor with a fancy title? What does the coach do for the kids?
So believe it or not, and I learned this going into it, that there's a lot of kids that their parents don't allow them to play video games. So when they come in the trailer, they're like overloaded, right? With the lights and the sound and the games, and they're like
they want to participate but don't know where to start.
Exactly. So he's there to help them facilitate the games. If they want to add 2 or 3 more players, they want to switch games. Like there's a game that I don't even understand, and I don't think I want to, because it's like, I don't know, it's Minecraft.
Oh, yep.
But it's like one of the most popular game out there besides Fortnite.
For the trailer.
I don't know, but he knows it in and out, right? And that's good, because
right. So he's the expert in like how to actually interact and engage with the game on that side
with
of
the games and with the kids and things like that. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's
a cool position.
He's a must.
Right.
I mean, he gets paid $25 an hour to play video games.
It's not a bad deal.
I mean, yeah, exactly. So I mean, he does that. I handle the outside. And if they do add-ons like snow cone or popcorn or VR, things like that, then, we can handle all that outside. So
that's so cool.
Yeah.
What a cool profession. So how does the Foam-nado come into play there? When did that come along, and when did you get the idea for it?
So we saw some ads of foam, and then we just said, that's kind of cool. Let's kind of look into it. So we did our research and looked into it. And it wasn't crazy expensive to get started. I mean, we already have the game trailer, so like this would be a cool add-on, right?
Yeah.
They can do 2 hours of gaming, and then they can go out for an hour and play in the foam.
Right.
So we found the company and we bought our equipment, and it's just a cool add-on, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But not only that, but people can also just book just that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have I bought a new van, so it's all logoed, and we wrapped the van. My truck is wrapped with a video game trailer, and so whenever we have phone parties, we have a phone person who can go out and handle the phone parties.
Yeah,
I mean, it's an hour, and it's
easy.
It's easy, but it's easy, but there's a lot of manual work to get it set up and take down.
Yeah, it's like it's not hard to understand what needs to be done.
Yeah,
it's just busy work of like you have to have your I guess I'll call it ammunition bucket, because so I've been to 2 events that had a foam vendor.
Okay.
And the way one of them did it was they had like a trash can with just a bunch of liquid in it and the foam suds, and then they had like a hose that went to the thing, but how do the logistics play out for that? Do you have to work into the contract, like you have to have a hose that I can use or something?
So the only thing that I don't know how other companies operate, but the only thing we need from the customer is the water spigot and an outlet.
Gotcha.
And that's it. We provide all the cords, we provide all the hoses, we provide all that stuff.
Right.
Same thing with the game trailer. The customer literally has to do nothing.
Nice.
Like if we need power for a popcorn machine, or if we need power for a snow cone machine, or whatever else, we have a generator. We can run all of our power off the generator. So we're totally self-sufficient. We don't need their internet. We don't need, because we have internet on the trailer.
Right.
Same thing with the phone. We don't need anything from the customer. And that's a service that companies should adopt, right?
Yeah.
Not using the customer's water hose or cords or anything like that, right? So
yeah, it's so nice for the customer side of it to have a self-sufficient vendor, for sure.
Well, so what's funny is we get a lot of questions like, what do we do? Like from the customer, because they're used to 30 kids running in and out of their house when there's a birthday party. Yeah. And we get parents come up and they say, well, what do we do? Is there something we can do? And we're like, no.
Have fun as well.
We have the kids. The kids are taken care of.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to worry about the kids for 2 hours.
Right.
And
which is a blessing in and of itself for parents.
Well, yeah. Sure. So we do all the school board stuff for Manatee and Sarasota County. So
what do you mean by that?
So when you go to be a vendor for the school district, you have to get background checked and fingerprinted and stuff like that. So all of my employees, they're all certified. They're all background checked and drug screened and fingerprinted.
Like to the standard even of school systems.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we advertise, like all of our, because we're dealing with 30 kids. Right. That's our business is children. Right. So we want to make sure that the parents know that, you're just not leaving your kids with just anybody. That helps a lot, but back to the question is some of the parents are just like, we're just not used to this. We're used to, and when they say, what do we do? I was go hang out in the house for 2 hours. Yeah. If you have guests, go mingle with your guests.
Yeah. Just enjoy yourselves.
Just enjoy, come in right now, take your pictures, and then you don't, we handle the whole party.
Yeah.
For 2 hours. So you don't have to worry about a thing.
It's a wonderful time.
And what I'm finding is more and more is that parents are dropping off their kids instead of sticking around.
Right. Yeah, because they trust you with just being able to handle that.
So just because your kid knows this kid, it doesn't mean the two parents know each other.
Right.
So how awkward is it for you to be hanging out in someone's house or garage that you have that you don't know who they are?
Right.
So
yeah.
So we're finding that more and more to where they're just dropping off their kids and then coming back in 2 hours. Right. Because when they advertise the kid's birthday party, we're having a video game truck party. So it's easier for them to go, oh, I can just drop my kid off.
Right, yeah. And it's like, okay, so there's people there, it's a safe environment. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the long-term vision for you guys? Do you want to have more trucks? Do you want to pivot into like a larger concept of entertainment? Like what are you building towards right now?
So we're always evolving, right? We're always looking for new stuff to add and new things to do. The end goal is, so I have adult kids. So my kids are all grown and stuff. I really wanted them to take over, but they have no interest.
Right.
They're doing their own thing. They're young adults and they just have no interest in that. And that's okay.
Right.
So, but my vision is to build it up and then hire the right people to just take it over.
Yeah.
So that way it's just passive income coming in for us and our retirement and things like that.
The dream.
Exactly. It's harder than it seems.
Yeah.
The most hardest thing about running a business is people.
Yes.
It's not the actual customers. It's not the actual business. It's not making money. It's people. It's managing people. And that's the hardest thing about business.
Yeah. It's the reason why I have no intention of going the typical DJ route of hiring other DJs and, becoming a regional manager instead of an in-person DJ myself, is because it's the same thing. I just didn't want to have to deal with the interpersonal logistics of it. So, podcast. What's the craziest thing that's happened at one of your events? Something that you were just not prepared for, unexpected, something that you had to quickly adapt to, something like that?
Nothing crazy. I haven't had a Karen yet to where, they just complained about everything.
Right.
Although we did have one not too long ago. We had a snow cone machine out there, and ours is all you can eat snow cone, right?
Gotcha.
So, and there was a little boy, and I think he was on his second. And then I don't know if she was a grandmother of one of the kids, but she kept like harassing all the kids. How many have you had?
Oh no.
You can't have it. You have to wait. And we're thinking, so my wife, she doesn't get upset. So my wife was like, I'm going to go ask the parents, right? Because this lady's telling all these kids that they can't have a snow cone when the snow cones are sitting there. And it's
literally
for them.
Something that the parents paid for.
Yeah. So she went over and talked to the parents, and the parents are like, we don't care. Give as much as they want. So, but no, we actually had one kid slam his hand in the door, his finger.
Oh boy.
But other than that, nothing, we tell the kids, don't put your fingers in the door. Don't put your fingers in the door.
Right.
Door's always open and closing. Like people are always coming in and out.
You got to be real careful with it.
And at the end of the bench is next to the door. So if you're putting your hand on the frame and people are, it's going to be a disaster.
Right.
But we haven't had any crazy stories or anything like that. Our stuff runs real good, man. It runs really efficient.
That's it's nice when you can just relax about the business as well, because needless to say, I've got plenty.
Yeah. Oh, I bet being a DJ.
In weddings, no, there's so many things that can go wrong. But yeah, I love just hearing what it's like on the logistical side of other people's industries and things, because it's fascinating to see the kinds of ways that you would have to adapt and things. When it comes to actually forming or executing the business, were there any bumps that you weren't anticipating that you had to kind of grow from a previous paradigm and adapt to something that you didn't see coming?
Cost.
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't seem like, aside from power, what else, like what goes into it?
It just seems like I'm continuously dumping money into it. And it's more to better the business and better the experience for the client. So one of the biggest, I think, mistakes that I've made is when I first received the trailer. Of course, you're all excited and you want to, start, putting everything in it. And one of the things that you have to do is that it doesn't come with is games.
Right.
Right. So you have to buy. So, and these games are $60, $70, $80 a pop.
Yeah. I
have 20 consoles.
Yeah.
So do the math on that.
It'll add up.
So, yeah, so I ran out and, I do all downloads, so I didn't run out anywhere. But, I started buying all the latest, most coolest games. And they were $60, $80 a pop. And then I stopped and I was like, you know what? I can do a Game Pass. And then I figured out with the Game Pass, I can game share.
Oh.
So then I can buy one copy and then share it to the next console. So therefore, I only had to buy one copy of that game. But that's not what really screwed things up. I went out and I spent like $2,000 on games.
Yeah.
When I did my first, second, third party, the only thing the kids played were the free ones.
What?
Fortnite.
Right.
Roblox, Minecraft, Rocket League.
Wow.
They're all free.
Yeah.
They only need internet.
Yeah.
And those are the only ones that... Now, sprinkle some Madden in there. Sprinkle some MLB in there.
Maybe some other things like Call of Duty or something for the edgy kids.
Yeah, maybe sprinkle like Forza, like the racing game. But Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Rocket League.
Right.
all free to download, all free to play. And those are the ones, like just this past weekend, we had a Fortnite party.
Right.
Every TV was on Fortnite.
Man. Is that still to this day like the most popular
Yep.
game that you see kids playing?
Yep.
Wow.
So one of the first things we do is when we roll up to the house, we find out where we're parking. Typically, it's like right there in front, right? So we greet the parents. You know, they say, "What do you need from us?" We say nothing. We're totally self-sufficient. And then we ask, "What games are we playing, and what games do you not want them to play?"
Right.
And they go, "I don't know. Let's go get the birthday boy or girl, whatever, and come out." And so kids come out. Kids come out and. What do you guys play? What do you guys want to play? Fortnite. We got it. Okay, what else?
Easy.
Minecraft. Yep. Okay, great. What other games besides those?
Yeah.
Roblox. Rocket League. Okay. Think.
Right.
I'm trying
Let's
to
go
get
big.
I'm trying to get them to play the games that I spent all this money on.
Right.
So then I start rambling off games. Do you like Madden? Do you like 2K26 basketball? Do you like Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. But Fortnite. So we get a game list from them,
Yeah.
right? And then my my game coach goes in and puts it all on the TV. And so when we roll up, the kids just don't go in. So we arrive about 30 minutes early before their party starts, so we can get things set up and stuff like that. Because we want the experience of when they walk in the game trailer, they're just like, holy crap.
Right.
Like
And-
this is like crazy.
And as frictionless of an experience as possible. So they should just like walk in, be amazed, sit down, play.
And that's exactly what happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Getting it to be a well-oiled machine. That is such a satisfying experience when you like form a business and then you can see it actually launch and sale. So what was the moment that happened for you where what was the first time where you really felt like it's happening? You know, we're doing it. The business is sailing. Things are finally put together. Was it just kind of a smooth transition? Was it just on day one you were fully operational and you felt good about it? Was there a specific point that you can remember where you felt like now we're officially, good to go?
So we picked up our trailer. It was on a Saturday. We had a rental the very next Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
So I had a week
to like figure out how to do the stuff.
figure out like,
oh man,
what games are we putting on here?
Right.
What so I'm scrambling for that week.
Man.
And that party was an eye opener. I learned a lot from that party. We did a test party in our parking lot of our office, and we just invited friends and family to come in, have the kids come in and play, and then let us know what's working, what's not working, where are the bugs, things like that. There wasn't too much during that.
Yeah.
But when we did our very first paid gig, our paid birthday party, we learned that the one AC that it came with wasn't enough.
Makes sense.
It was hot.
Right.
We learned that some of the games hadn't been downloaded all the way, or they needed updating, and you can't update them on the fly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because some of them take hours to update.
Exactly. Like some of the Fortnite updates, they're just insane.
Yeah.
So there was a lot that we learned on that first party. The AC thing was like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Especially here in Florida, you have to get comfortable.
Plus, kids are in and out, doors open and close, in and out.
Yeah, so you can't maintain a certain atmosphere. It's like you really have to have something blasting.
So that was one of the first things I did was have another rooftop AC installed in the trailer.
That makes sense.
So now it's ice cold.
Right. As everything should be. Okay. With doing a business that is in the entertainment space, more specifically in the realm of video games, has that had any impact on socials, like relationships and things? Have people treated you differently talking to you as a video game vendor? Are they like, wow, do they feel more favorable to you? Has it affected anything on a personal basis?
I wouldn't say so. No. It's funny because it brings out the kid in adults. So when I roll up to a party, they ask me, "Oh, I grew up on Nintendo. I grew up on this."
Yeah.
So what I did early on is I took a 1-up arcade game, the stand-up ones that you can buy online. I found one on Marketplace, a Mortal Kombat one.
Nice.
And I modded it to where you can play all the consoles, old school consoles.
Yeah.
Sega, Nintendo, Atari. So it has like 27 different old school consoles with like 25,000 old school games.
Man.
So the nostalgic behind it is, when somebody says, "Oh my God, I grew up on
like Super Nintendo or
X."
something." Yeah.
I'd say, "Oh, come on in." And I walk them to the back of the trailer and there's a stand-up arcade. And I say, "What game did you grow up on?" "Oh, I grew up on Excite Bike for Nintendo." "Okay, cool." Boom, here you go. Have at it.
Enjoy.
He's like, "Oh my God, that is like the coolest thing ever." So like when you first walk into my trailer, like when you first walk into the door, there is a stand-up. Well, actually, it's a stand-up, but I have it mounted to the wall, and it's a Miss Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Dig Dug, 3 Galaga games. So we have a whole nostalgic, like when you walk in.
Yeah.
And the parents are like, "Oh my God, he has Pac-Man, he has Miss Pac-Man, he has this, he has that." So we don't only cater to the kids, we also cater to the adults.
Right.
Right.
And those are the things that are going to make people remember you, is like you're a well-rounded person who caters to different groups.
So the majority of our bookings come from word of mouth. You were at my neighbor's, whatever, or it's we were at so-and-so's party.
Right.
That's where a lot of our bookings coming.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And
then
especially with that kind of business,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are a lot of parents who won't even think to look up something like that. Like it's just not, because with the bounce house, everyone's seen one, but with something like a rolling video game trailer, I didn't know that was a thing until last year.
A lot of people don't know it existed. And what I found out with talking with other owners is I talked to an owner like last week. He's been doing it since 2014. I'm thinking, it's been out that long?
Yeah.
So people don't know. So here's what's funny is so my wife Susie, she does all of our marketing and all of our socials and internet and things like that. And we also have a person who does a lot of posting for us as well on like Facebook and Twitter and or X or whatever. And so we pride ourselves on getting our ranking like way high. And what I found the other day is because we always ask customers, "Hey, how'd you hear about us?" One guy said, "Oh, I just chat GPT'd."
Yep.
I'm like, we show up on Chat GPT. How cool is that?
That's a new player on the block for sure.
Or Alexa. Somebody said Alexa. I said Alexa. They're like, "Yeah, we just asked Alexa, what do we do for a 10-year-old's birthday party?" And you guys were the number one on there. I was like, holy crap, that is so cool. But so when I said my competition wasn't my competition, is for some reason they're canceling on people. And we're getting all their cancellations. But here's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
We picked up one of the largest country clubs.
Oh.
They canceled on them for 4th of July.
Ah, boy.
One of the biggest rental days of the year. They canceled on them. Why? And they were scrambling.
Right.
Because they didn't know we existed.
Yeah.
They used them prior years. So they only knew just to call them. So when they called and they didn't offer them
a replacement,
anything. Well, what's funny is that we did a church with them. It was an event, and they were right across from us.
Right.
And I walked up to them and I says, hey, you know, I'm Bill. I own Level Up. They didn't give me the time of day. Like, they didn't want to talk to me. I mean, it was just like,
So
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, so once we're starting to get all of these cancellations, like we've had 4 like last week.
Just last week. Dang.
So we're getting all these cancellations, and I asked the customers, I was like, did they like offer you like a solution? They were like, no. They said they had an emergency and they couldn't do it. And here I'm trying to make friends with them, you know, because I know, hey, crap happens.
Right.
But
and that's why you
at least say, hey, you know what? I can't do it, but I have a buddy who's also in the business.
Right.
Let me send him over to you.
Well, that just seems, it goes back to the simple golden rule that we're trying to teach all of our kids, right? Where it's just like, if I was the customer, that's the kind of vendor I would want to work with, is somebody who says, because we all understand things can happen, life can be hard for us.
Yeah.
And you just never know what's around the corner. So yeah, of course there are going to be times when you might have to cancel or do something.
Yeah.
But at least try to, you know, help the customer out and not just be like, well, sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah, so that's,
crazy.
you know, I call it rich man, poor man mentality, right?
Yeah.
The poor man mentality is oh, I don't want to give my competition anything because then he's going to take over all my business. And it's just not the case.
It's not.
It's just not. So anyways, they scrambled and they had somebody in the office do a quick Google and boom, there we were. They've never done that before because they've always used this guy for their parties and he bailed on them. So now we picked up all of their work
Right.
for one of the largest country clubs in town.
Dang. No, that's sick.
So,
such a satisfying
I mean, we
feeling.
had to move mountains to make them work. But, you know, I told my wife, Susie, I was like, oh, we're doing this. I mean, if we have to, you know, work with customers, you know, to fit them in, then we got to do that. Luckily, other people, they were good and they were cool and they were like, no problem. And
Right. Yeah. Well, because I've had that happen with me one time. So they wanted a DJ who would go there and lead their guests in line dances, which is things like the cha-cha slide, Cupid shuffle, those kinds of songs. And that's a pretty low skill DJ event. You know, there's lots of DJs who could cater to that for a very low cost. So I asked the customer, first of all, I was like, hey, I have another customer who asked if I would do a wedding for that day. The wedding in question would pay like over twice the same value. This was like 5 months out. So plenty of time. And I reached out to my customer in advance. I didn't just drop them. So after that, they reached out back to me and they said, well, so I offered them, I said, I wouldn't just cancel my services. What I would do is I would reach out to other DJs that I know and help you to find a replacement. And once we find a replacement, then I will issue out a cancellation agreement between you and I, and we'll, you know, have everything in writing and so that everyone's clear. So we ended up doing that. It took a couple of months for us to find a suitable replacement that she liked, that was in the right price range.
Yeah.
But once that happened, yeah, we worked that out. They were perfectly happy with how the thing panned out with the other DJ who did the line dance party for them. I did the wedding instead. I feel like that's a perfectly much more understandable and respectful way to come at it than just dropping a customer.
one of my biggest fears when I started this was having a customer call and say, "Hey, where are you at?"
Oh my god.
That was my big, that's
It's
like my biggest fear in this industry.
Yeah.
Like I never, ever, ever want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. And it happened to us, right? I was on a call, me and my game coach, we're setting up for a party. My wife calls me and she says, "Hey, your 10 o'clock says you're not there yet. Where are you at?" And I says, I'm here.
Right, I'm at my 10 o'clock.
I'm set up and ready to go. And she says, "Well, what address are you at?" Long story short, our booking system that we had switched to had some kind of a update, and it canceled and moved some of our bookings. And it happened across so what just does, it was across the platform.
Right.
And the lady's freaking out, has all these kids coming, right? No game truck. And I was in the middle of this party. And we were like, oh my God, we let us figure out what's going on. And then, we gave them like lots of options. Like we can do this time, we can come right after this, we can do evening, none of it worked for the customer. They were very upset.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, I already had 2 negative feedbacks on Google.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
No.
Right? I mean,
that is a negative experience.
Stuff happens, and it happens to all of us, right? But it's how you fix it.
Yeah.
So, I talked to him a couple of times. My wife talked to him a couple of times, like we're horrified, and we explained to him what happened. Like it was totally out of our control. Like you weren't even on our schedule, right? And it also made us put in different procedures now that we do in our business. So it helped us with our booking side because this happened. It was unfortunate. So what we end up doing is we end up rescheduling. We gave her a free party. We gave her a 2-hour party. We gave her a snow cone machine.
Nice.
So we went out and we did
upgrades.
We did full upgrades. We did the full party. We did the party. She ended up, tipping everybody like $100.
Dang.
So it went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Right. We corrected it. But the Google reviews are still there. The only thing that we can do is that my wife, Susie, replies to every feedback that we get. Thank you. We had a great time at your party, whatever it is. So on hers, we just said, we just replied to the negative review and we just said, thank you for allowing us to come out to your party and giving us a second chance. We're glad everybody had a great time. Thank you for tipping, thank you for tipping the staff. They really appreciated it. So it showed that, hey, you screwed up.
Right.
But we fixed it.
Yeah. It's like it is a good experience. There was just a mistake that happened. Yeah. I feel that.
But it still shows like 4.8, 4.9 in my Google review, which I hate seeing.
Right. Is that the only negative experience that anyone's reported? Wow.
Yeah. So it was that. Crazy. And then one of their friends also went on there and left us. So we were attending my friends and they didn't show up and they didn't this and they didn't that. Look, it's totally, and I get it. But when a company corrects their mistake, I think there should be kind of a reciprocation.
Yeah. It just goes to show that it is incomparably easier to accrue negative reviews than positive reviews.
100%. I literally have a code on the door, inside of the door, where the customer could just scan the code and leave a feedback.
Yeah.
Do you know how many parents, and it happened this weekend, do you know how many parents scan the code but leave no review?
Oh, because you can track that.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. No.
I watched them scan the code.
Right.
I'll leave it right now for you.
Oh, man.
And there's no review.
No, I'm awfully curious what the stats are on that one. I would assume
it's very
probably,
low.
Yeah,
It's very low.
Probably talking less than 10%. I would assume
it's probably less than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay, when it comes to, in terms of a general professionalism question, over your time in the professional workspace, what is your philosophy when it comes to conflict resolution, things like that? Is there like a guiding star mentality? Is it just what I was saying of golden rule, just follow that, or do you have a more specific guideline that you try to incorporate?
So I always want to take care of the customer, right? I don't necessarily believe that the customer is always right, especially in this day and age. Right. There's so many people trying to get over on you and trying to get services and things like that.
Yeah.
I look at each situation differently, but at the end of the day, I want to take care of the customer.
Right.
If they're upset with, even if they're upset with something that we didn't do, I still try to take care of them.
Yeah.
Right. It's like the old saying, right? You get an angry customer, they tell 100 people. You get a happy customer, they tell one.
Right.
Right. So you want to have a fair balance. So I take care of all my customers, no matter what happens. Yep. If I have to give them a free service, I'll give them a free service, even if they're wrong.
Right.
Even if they're wrong, we still do it. But we haven't had anything come up like that. The only thing was the snafu we just talked about.
That one.
But again, companies make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're humans. I mean, it happens. We didn't go out of our way to, do it on purpose.
Yeah.
And to say, oh, guess what? We're just not going to show up. I mean, that's just not going to happen.
It's not us.
But we'll go out of our way and we'll bend over backwards and we'll do what we have to do.
What's your background? So far, we have entrepreneur followed by entrepreneur. So have you just always been a self-employed?
No. So honestly, I work a full-time job.
No kidding. Even now?
Even now.
Oh, what do you do? If you don't mind asking?
My background is the trades.
Right.
And I am a consultant for the trades. So I go in and I consult business owners, managers, technicians. I train the managers on how to run their business. I train technicians on how to, run service calls and present options. And
that explains why you have that like structured mentality.
Yeah. So it allows me a certain amount of freedom.
Yeah.
To do what I do.
Right.
Plus, this is mainly a weekend thing, so it doesn't even. Yeah. I mean, my wife is a real estate agent, so she works for herself. So and we have quite a few people who help us run the business. So I'm very hands off until the weekend.
Okay.
But if there's something that needs to be done, then I'm free to. I'm able to.
Right.
To do that.
So even with your primary career, it's still flexible enough that you can work things like, for instance, being on the podcast and such into your schedule. It's very liberating. Yeah. That is something that I did not understand while working, because I've had too many jobs. I'm definitely part of that demographic that has never had like a long-term career. I've had tons of different jobs in tons of different industries, and going from, for example, working as a waiter at two different jobs at the same time, where I would just drive from one to the other, work from sun up to sundown, and usually, actually, so there was a period of time where my work day was basically from like 9:30 to 1 a.m. 9:30 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next day. And that was just how my workday looked. And then I would sleep until I had to get up again. So yeah, now being in a place where I work as a DJ full time, it's such a different world to live in, to not have to be somewhere explicit for the majority of your time throughout the week. How has that influenced your ability to, for instance, be a father, be a family man, be able to just help friends when they needed you? What has there been a time when something happened where you're like, thank God I'm not, I wasn't at my job right now, that I was able to, take care of this immediately for people? Any stories like that you want to share?
So, I mean, now it's a little different because my kids are grown and they're adults and they have their own lives. And my one daughter just got married and she's getting ready to have her first baby. And
nice.
So she's...
is that going to be your first grandchild?
First grandchild.
Oh, exciting.
I know, exciting. I still feel I'm a little too young to be a grandfather, but nope, it's very exciting. And but when they were smaller, it was challenging, right? Because you still have to meet the needs of your kids. And when you're working as much as I did, especially having a full-time job when I owned the bounce house company and running the bounce houses on the weekends, it was tough. When they were smaller, they would come and they would help and they had fun doing it and things like that. But then as they got older, it's like, you're not cool enough to be, to be around anymore. And, so It's definitely a juggle, right? It was definitely a juggle, right? Especially when, I'm not with their mother anymore. Obviously I've divorced from them, so
Right.
I've been with them a long time. But when they were small, I have, the time that I had to pick them up, the time I had to drop them off. I had to schedule. I had to juggle all of that, and it was tough. But it's if there's a will, there's a way, right? I mean, people find ways to do it, and it's funny because I actually took on another job, I guess. So the manufacturer who does the trailers asked me to be a part of helping him close deals and sell. So I'm doing that a little bit, but I also offer a coaching program for video game trailer owners.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got some side hustles that go into.
I got side hustles on top of side hustles on top of side hustles. I do. So, and what's exciting is that I have a guy in my program who lives in Texas who's getting his trailer in a couple of weeks, and he's flying out on Friday to come spend time with me and run parties on Saturday.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. So this guy's dedicated, which is what I love.
Yeah.
Right.
You want to see people who are working as hard as you do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way it's going to work. Right.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's an exciting part to see that he's invested in his business, and you have to be, like, if you want to be successful. And again, I'm not saying it's easy, and I'm not saying like, the money like automatically poured in, because it doesn't. I mean, I've shelled out tens and thousands and almost hundreds of thousands of dollars on my businesses for it to just wait.
Yeah.
Got to wait for marketing to kick in. You got to wait to get your first customer. So there's a lot that goes along with it. And I think he understands this. So he wants to get a jump, and he wants to learn it and understand it. And so I thought it was cool. He was like, "Can I come and ride along?" I was like, "I'm busy this weekend, man.
Help yourself.
Come on over." So I mean, it's his expense, his flight, his hotel, his car driving here. I mean, you rental car.
Yeah. Man, what a good hands-on experience for him to be able to like see it in action and see what sides of the business that he can improve on it too. So
exactly.
Super helpful. What's the biggest event that you've served? Like what's the biggest gig?
So I want to get some big ones for foam. It just hasn't happened yet because we're so new.
Gotcha.
People don't know about us.
So how big could that feasibly get? Like what's the kind of scope?
So I mean, I have done 100 kids.
For like a school thing?
It was for one of our communities.
Oh, gotcha.
So Star Farms is literally right up the street, and we do their video game. So the community does things for the kids.
Right.
So they do us for the foam and also for the game trailer. Sick. So we've done 2 foams and 2 game trailers for them.
Yeah.
And they have anywhere between 80 to 100 kids for foam.
Wow.
The trailer can only hold about 25 kids at a time.
Yeah. So they got to take turns.
Got to take turns. So as far as I'm very choosy, right? I'm very picky with the game trailer. I'm picky who I rent to. I'm picky where I go. I'm picky on what events I do.
It's expensive enough. You kind of have to be.
There's a lot of equipment in there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hands-free stuff in there.
Right.
Right. And I really hope that I don't get parties to where people are like helping themselves to my handheld consoles.
Right.
And I never see them again.
Well, even outside of that, there's also just, you have to know that the kids are going to be respectful and responsible with the equipment too. Yeah. There's so much in there.
One of the reasons why we have a game coach.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To make sure that, they're not
no throwing controllers at the TV, guys.
Exactly. I mean, we've done some pretty good size HOA events. We did one for a community that hasn't been open long.
Yeah.
And that was a pretty good size event. I think there was probably 300 or 400 people there.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any opportunities for like a citywide park day or something, some sort of city sponsored activity. Cause I feel like there's probably a through line there, some festival or something that you guys could be a part of. That makes sense to me.
Yeah,
I gotta mull that over. But have you worked with the city much?
I have not worked with the city. No,
Okay.
not with the city itself.
Gotcha.
We're trying to get into Main Street, Lakewood Ranch Main Street,
Okay.
because they have events like, I don't know if it's like every other Friday or one Friday a month or something like that. I know we're on a list.
I've worked with Plant City Main Street. I should probably check that out too, because
But we haven't, been in there. I mean, it's good exposure and things like that, right? And again, we do the schools. So the end of year school that we did, we were packed like one full week was nothing but schools.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And that was on a rotation. So it was like every half hour there was a new group of 20 kids coming.
Gotcha. So you really had to get people in and out of there.
Yeah.
What kind of, at that point, I imagine that you would have had to limit the selection of games, because some games are designed in a way where you can't really have a meaningful interaction with it at a shorter level.
Yeah. So when you get that many people, we have to stick to like four player games,
Right.
to where everybody's getting a chance to play.
Yeah.
Because you'll get kids in there who will only want to play Roadblocks. And that's only a one player game.
No. Yeah.
And you
that
can't
one in
have
Minecraft,
20 kids in there and one kid on a one player game. That just doesn't.
It's not fair.
On a birthday party, it's common,
Yeah.
but not at an event.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and because sometimes with more artistic games like Minecraft, for instance, those are sometimes entertaining to see what other people are doing with the game. So it's at least some of the kids can watch and still be having a good time. But it definitely depends on the environment. I imagine your coach probably would have some valuable insights on these sorts of things. Where, like, is that the kind of relationship that you two have where he'll be like, hey, this would be a good game for this kind of a crowd?
Yeah, so it all changes. So even if we go out when we first get there and ask the kids what they want to play, and that's what we put on the TV, it all changes. So as soon as they get into the trailer and they get into the game, they play what they say they want to play, and then they're switching the games, and then they're starting to play other games that they see on there, which is good because I want them to play the expensive ones that I paid for.
Get some novel experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure that helps the parents feel like they're getting their money's worth if the kids are playing games that they don't usually have access to. Yeah, I know if I were a parent at something like that, that's how I would feel about it. There's a lot of stigma that goes around video games. Usually the expectation is that it is something that people do to self-isolate, or it's something that can impede kids' development socially. What has been your experience with the interactions that kids have with one another while playing games together? What have been some observations, things that you enjoyed seeing, things that you weren't expecting, those sorts of things?
So we don't have a bullhorn inside for no reason. Right? And I don't know if it's actually the game itself or if it's just the kids being with their friends.
Right.
Some kids, like we had one over the weekend, like he just wouldn't shut up. Like he would scream at the top of his lungs.
Right.
And finally my game coach had to come get me because he just would not stop. Even after the game coach, stop yelling, stop screaming. So I had to intervene and go in.
Yeah.
A lot of it is mainly that they're excited to be with their friends, all in one sitting, and they get a little rowdy. So I go over all the rules with everybody before they go in. Right? No jumping up and down, no wrestling, no grabbing controllers, no screaming.
Right.
Things like that. There are certain games that I warn parents about. Like one is Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You know, and I asked them, I asked them, I was like, is there any games you don't want them to play? Sometimes they say no fighting games or nothing with gore or things like that. Okay, great. But sometimes the kids are like, or the parents are like, well, I don't really, like they don't know. Right. And then I ask them, is it okay if your kid, you know, beats up hookers and deals drugs and stuff in a video game? And they're like, well, no. I'm like, okay, then we'll stay away from GTA.
Yeah.
And then there's parents that they're 8-year-old and they're like, oh yeah, he can play it. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. He plays it all the time.
At that point, they're the paying customer.
Yeah.
And if their kid plays Grand Theft Auto and the parents say they can play it, they can play it.
Makes sense.
I mean, that
is their job as the parent, is to decide where that line is.
My job as the company that they hired was to give them the paid experience that they want.
Yeah.
And if their kid can play Grand Theft Auto, their kid can play Grand Theft Auto.
Makes sense to me.
So, but I always ask them, and I always tell them about certain games. Like, are they allowed to play Mortal Kombat? Well, what's Mortal Kombat? Well, it's a fighting game, but there's a lot of gore and a lot of heads taken off and a lot of swords and stuff like that. And they're like, well, maybe not this time. Okay, great. But it's funny because even after the parents say it, I still get the kids saying, hey, do you have Grand Theft Auto? Hey, do you have Mortal Kombat?
Trying to sneak it in there.
And then I'm like, of course we have it, but you can't play it. Or it's the guests, it's the kids, the guests of the party, the kids, their friends.
Yeah.
They're allowed to play it, but the party kid's not allowed to play it.
Oh.
So at that point,
how does that play out?
I tell them they're not allowed to play it.
That makes more sense.
So
yeah, because nobody. How awful would that be for like the birthday boy to be the one left out? That would be awful.
Yeah. So I go by. So our bosses, right, are the customers. So we present the options. They give us the answers, and that's how we run our party.
Yeah.
So if they say that I don't care if our kids have 100% pure sugar and they can have a 1,000 cups of snow cones, then we obey their wishes.
Right.
Their kids can have one after another, after another, after another. Right.
You're the parents. We assume that you're going to be. It's not like you're not like a bartender where you are legally obligated to cut them off after a certain point.
So it's funny because we still say.
Yeah.
I mean, if a little kid comes up and goes, "Oh, can I have a snow cone?" We would say, "Didn't you just have one a second ago?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yeah." I would say, "Would you want to wait another few minutes to have another one?" So we do that.
Okay.
Right. So it's not like we're like, "Here, open your mouth. We're going to pour the syrup, down your throat." So you do
try to be like responsible about how you're engaging.
We still try to, even though the parents say they can have as much as they want. It's not as much as they want one after another, after another, after another, right? We still coach them into, you just had one. Why don't we wait 10 minutes and then come back?
Yeah.
I'll have a good one made for you. And then they're like, okay, great.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah.
So you help them pace themselves because they're a child.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because some parents just aren't parents. They don't give a damn what their kids do. They don't care what they watch, what they play, what they eat. They just don't care.
Yeah.
But we are parents and we do care. And so we're not going to have somebody eat 10 snow cones back to back to back.
Recommended, yeah. So that's how I have to think about it when doing younger kids' parties in general, particularly when it comes to sweet 16s. So whenever I'm doing any party, it doesn't matter for who, I will give them a selection of what kind of music that they're comfortable with for the explicit content threshold. So I'm like, do you want to just be like church-friendly playlist? Do you want it to be what I call PG-13 from the 90s, where it's like an occasional swear word here and there, but we're not going to get like F this, F that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just anything goes? And with... There was this one time when I was doing a Sweet 16 party, and the parent the mom who was filling out the form had checkmarked that she was comfortable with mature as the threshold. So she said, anything goes. And when I got there, I confirmed with her just to be sure. I was like, so just, is there really like any limit there? Or do you just mean like you don't mind swear words, but don't go too crazy with it? Like, what's your sensibility on it? And she said, no, she's an adult now. She can have whatever music she wants. I was like, you're the boss. So I'm doing an event for this party, and I got to set the stage for it. We're in an HOA. We're at their clubhouse, and it is for a group of cheerleaders. It was like, so they're like 16, 15, somewhere in that, young ladies. I'm like the only man in the crowd, and I'm in my 30s. And at some point, one of the girls comes over and requests a song. And I'm like, you got it. So I play this song. I'll tell you what it is, but for the chorus, all of the girls are singing along to the lyrics at the top of their lungs, as loud as they can get, so that for sure there are houses that can like hear them singing as well, And the title of the song is "Slut Me Out." So now I'm at this clubhouse with just nothing but like 20, young ladies all screaming that lyric. And that's what the chorus is. That phrase just like 8 times in a row or something. It was just like, why? Who made this song? But the mom was there. The mom was present for that and decided that was not over the line for her. I'm like, okay, as long as you guys are cool with that, that's fine. But sometimes there are parents who are just really relaxed about that.
So we deal with music too with the foam, because we provide. So we have a big JBL party box, and we can Bluetooth in and things like that.
Yeah,
and that's one of the questions that I ask the parents is, what kind of music do you want? If they hem haul around, what I say, look, you can Bluetooth into this. So if you have a playlist, or if one of the kids want to do theirs. So we did an event for the Ringland School of Arts.
Really?
We did a big foam party for them.
Where?
On their campus.
Yeah, in the
it was in a courtyard in front of one of the school buildings.
Oh, okay. For the arts, not
for the
museum
arts.
side.
Yeah,
of it.
Yeah.
I'm like imagining it in the middle of the park or something.
Yeah, no. So it was funny because I was playing what I thought they were like young adults, like they were 17, 18, 19 years old. And so I was playing my stuff, and one of them comes up and goes, "Can we Bluetooth one of our phones?" I was like, absolutely. And then they Bluetooth in their phone, and then they played all their music, which I have never heard any of their stuff before. Some of it I did, like they did Cotton Eye Joe and like some other, like the Cha-Cha Shuffle, and they did some of that.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of progressive stuff that I've never heard of, and they were just like in heaven. So nice. I always give the customer an option. Look, you can Bluetooth in with your playlist or one of the kids' playlist, whatever. I don't care.
So speaking of the foam parties, what are the usual things that you have to explain to the parents? Because I imagine that it's a little different than with the video game side, where the parents are they can just leave the kids in the trailer, and it's super easy to manage on that. But I would imagine that there's some liability hazards that you have to be more conscientious about and probably explain a little deeper to parents when it comes to the foam side of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, when they call and book, we explain exactly what we need. They ask their questions, and it's really not much. I mean, there's a lot of companies that have like the sandwich sign with rules and things they can't do and things like that. I don't run my business that way at all. At the end of the day, if someone's going to sue you, they're going to sue you.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you have rules saying you can't do this, saying you can't do that. Even if I don't even have people sign anything. I have no contracts that nobody signs.
Really?
Nope.
Oh,
They
Wild West over here. Shoot.
well, I mean, that's why we have insurance.
Right.
They can still sue you if they sign your contract. Your contract doesn't mean nothing. Doesn't mean anything.
Right.
They, once they pay your invoice online, that's kind of their signature.
Right.
They're agreeing to your terms and
Yeah,
services.
they've voluntarily given money.
When you send something online and then they click on it and then they pay, right?
Yeah.
So, we go over stuff with them, but we haven't had anybody like go crazy in the foam pit. I mean, we just don't. I mean, we tell them that if it's on, if it's on any kind of driveway or stuff, make sure the kids have shoes on, Crocs or something, right? The foam is very safe. It's biodegradable. It doesn't stain. It's hyperallergenic. It doesn't do anything to your grass or your property, and it just kind of disintegrates.
That's cool.
Is what it does.
What's it made out of?
So it's just it's a concentrate of. It's almost like I don't want to say like a Dawn soap, but it's like a soapy type.
Gotcha.
There's all kinds.
I imagine an edible soap, probably.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend eating it, but if you get some in your mouth, it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
If you get it on your skin or if you get it in your eyes, it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know exactly what's in it, but
yeah,
it's a very safe type foam.
Right.
We also do bubble parties too. So we have like commercial bubble machines.
Okay.
And
I was trying to visualize. What do you mean?
It is for little kids though. This is for like little kids.
Yeah.
So we do bubble parties for it's not real popular, but
yeah. It's the foam light version.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a big machine. It blows out millions of bubbles, and there's the machine itself has lights on it. So at night,
I can see little kids getting into that.
It's really cool. Yeah. I'm seeing it more and more in like weddings and stuff. Having bubbles.
Yes. I've seen a lot of bubbles happening.
So that would be cool if I can tap into that space with bubbles. But
yeah, I imagine I probably won't see too many foam pits at weddings. It's
probably not foam. So, but no, it's I think it's going to take a little time to get ramped up. Mm-hmm. But
I mean, well, with having a few hundred events, like 500-600 events,
we've done
something like that.
Yeah, we've done a lot of events.
Yeah, you've done some ramping already, but
we've done some ramping. Yeah.
How many events do you think that you could sustain in a year? Like 1,000 or something?
So
5 events a week.
Well, so we can handle about probably 20 to 25 a month.
Wow, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, so almost one every day.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Like 3-ish a week.
That's what
4.
a typical like game trailer company can do.
Right. But
at that point, then you'd have to
probably hire people.
Well, not only that, but you'd have to get a second trailer.
Right.
So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because some of those are going to have to be overlapping events, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It'd be hard
we do multiple events on the same day.
Fair.
So we can do 2 to 3 in a day.
So you said that you can show up about a half hour early to set up. Mm-hmm. Probably doesn't have much teardown time either.
15 minutes?
Right.
10 minutes?
Yeah, so super easy. I could see that. Yeah, so if you get just a couple of 3-hour gigs, an hour on each side for setup and teardown, yeah, I could see that logistic happening pretty well. Mm-hmm. Does the trailer have like special kind of insurance that you have to be mindful about?
Yeah, so, and so does the foam. So luckily I have my insurance company does both.
Oh, yeah.
So when I bought the equipment and stuff and decided to do foam, then we reached out to them and said, "Hey, do you guys do foam?" And they go, "Yeah." And it wasn't much. It's like $900 a year to add on the foam, so that really wasn't bad. So, but yes, We have to have $2 million of insurance. And then when we do like parks and things, the parks, you have to put them on your insurance.
Oh, and added insured. Yeah.
So they are covered for anything. So which is, it's no big deal. So
sensible.
So it protects everything. So I did my insurance to where it'll protect everything inside. If something gets damaged or stolen or anything like that, it covers all that.
Right.
It covers the trailer for if the trailer got damaged or anything. It covers that, and then of course liability. And
have you done any tournament style events with maybe older kids or something like that, or younger kids?
So that's something we want to start doing.
Yeah. It sounds exciting.
I just haven't figured out how I want to do it because I have to make money on it, but it's also a form of gambling. So I have to figure out a way, because if I charge them to be part of a tournament, and then I pay cash prizes.
Oh,
and
right.
That's part of gambling.
So you'd have to be careful about what kinds of prizes would be allowed.
I haven't really sat down and done the logistics on it yet.
Yeah.
But I think that would be a cool idea to do.
It seems like it would be.
Yeah, we could do a Mario Kart tournament. We could do a Madden tournament.
Gosh,
we could do
so cool.
baseball. I mean, we could do anything.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think that would be a cool thing to get into.
I'd say so. Are you able to stream what's on the TVs? Like, would you be able to? Because what I'm thinking about, just now that I've got my gears turning on this, what if you had like the trailer and then you have 4 TVs inside?
5.
So you have 5 TVs inside. What if you had the ability to like mount a TV on the outside, and then you could have like an audience on the outside of the thing watching what was going on the different TVs? So you'd have like quadrants or something of like 4 TVs at a time, or if you could figure out a way to make 5 TVs, but 4 would be much easier to logistically stream. And so you could have like a quadrant of all 4 TVs going, so that people could watch the different tournament games going on, and then as players get eliminated, it simplifies the UI. This is just things that I'm thinking about now. It's
actually,
like, it sounds like it's a cool
actually
idea.
gave me an idea on, like streaming for socials.
Yeah, that too.
Like you can like live stream the inside of the trailer for a party, or have a little monitor outside. And the parents, instead of the parents walking into the trailer to check on their kid, they can look at the monitor.
Yeah.
And see the live stream right there. That's actually a pretty cool idea. I just have to figure out how to do it.
I could see content creators being interested in something like that for them and their friends. Like you said, having some sort of inbuilt stream idea so that people could just include that in the package and just say like, we want to make, this video. And so afterwards you would just send us the video file so that we could figure out how to edit it and put it on our streams or something. That feels, or not put it on the stream because that's live, but upload it to their various social media channels. Because I know that there are lots of people who would love to have that kind of opportunity to have in-person streaming activities that they could then upload to their socials. I'm sure there's some sort of opportunity there. Yeah, it feels like it. That's a cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, for sure.
Are there other ideas that you're comfortable with sharing? Of course, because I don't want you to spill any company secrets. But are there any other ideas that you've kind of been like kicking around, thinking about that you're not sure how to implement?
Yeah, there is. I want to add a racing simulator to the trailer.
Like an actual rocking around simulator?
An actual racing simulator. But here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the Facebook groups I'm part of is a game trailer Facebook group. And I asked the group, what are you guys doing for racing simulators? And and I said, send me pictures. I want to see pictures. Mm-hmm. And everything that I've seen, it's really cheesy. It's chintzy. It looks like everything in my trailer looks like it's supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't look like it's an add-on.
Right.
And I don't want my it just cheapens the experience when you walk into something and you say that looks like an afterthought.
Right.
Like they have like a TV tray with a racing wheel on it, or they have a folding chair with the racing. I'm like, come on, guys.
No. It should feel like you're getting into like the cockpit of a spaceship. Like this, you'd have to like maybe if you had like more of a design of.
I have one. So there was one picture of a guy. So the back of the trailer folds down.
Okay.
It opens up.
Oh.
I don't open mine at all.
Okay, but it can.
It can.
Right.
I don't open mine because it takes away from the experience of being inside of a theater.
Yeah.
Right? It's dark, the lights are going, the TVs are going, right?
Especially with all of the like bright colored lights and the sound and
Plus you can't do it in Florida. I mean,
we just talked about the AC
You
problem.
just can't do it in Florida.
Yeah.
But there's a picture of a guy who drops who puts a cheap, disgusting looking tent over it, and then puts some kind of a racing cockpit simulator there, and that's what he uses.
Got it.
I understand the space part,
right?
Because you got to have space for it, but it looks so
loses
bad.
The premium vibe.
It loses the premium vibe.
Yep.
And everybody says, "Oh, it's one of our most popular, one of the and that's great, and it probably is.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to cheapen my brand by just having something because I think it's going to be cool. It has to be a part of the trailer. I just haven't figured it out yet. I thought about outside and thought about this, thought about that, but you got to have room. Right?
I think one of the hardest parts to figure out is because if you want it to actually have the ability to rock back and forth, you'd probably have to figure out like the hydraulics of it and how that would integrate with the floor and
So I did see one picture which I liked.
Yeah.
But I would have to take out a portion of the bench and take away one station.
Right. There's no way that you would be able to have all 5 monitors with that. No,
I would have to eliminate the end station,
which would be worth it for sure.
And then I could probably have a racing simulator.
Yeah.
But the problem is it only does one person.
Right. Well, while that's true, it would be pretty cool to see it happening.
It would be phenomenally cool because I have the VR to go along with it.
Yeah.
So if you had the VR racing on it.
Oh my gosh, that makes such a cool pair.
Sick. It would be cool.
Honestly, I feel like there's a world where you could just do 5 of those,
there is.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. That would be sick. So you would have like the gaming station, and then you'd have the VR wagon.
So we can turn the inside into a racing simulator,
right?
And then the outside can have the two monitors with the
because there is an outdoor station.
Yeah, there's an outdoor station.
Right. I remember seeing that on that where it's like a how RVs have those cubby panels. That kind of an idea where you lift up a panel and there's the consoles behind it. Yeah. That's cool.
Sounds expensive though.
I would imagine. Oh yeah, absolutely. Man, there's this game that came out a long time ago. And by a long time I mean back in like 2000s, so not like crazy. But so there's a Nintendo franchise called F-Zero. It's a futuristic racing game. And I've never seen another game that had the kind of fast-paced racing aesthetic that this game had. Well, they made a certain one for the GameCube called F-Zero GX, and then simultaneously made a arcade version of the game called F-Zero AX, where it had like a cockpit and everything, and it was a really cool environment. But as far as I'm concerned, if that game had some kind of a racing simulator, that I don't think there's any racing game that would have a cooler look to it. But once you have a racing simulator setup, you could literally just have any racing game in there, and as long as you just have it programmed to be able to do the right rocking action, then it still
we have Gran Turismo 7, we have the new Forza 6. We have the new Asphalt. We have What else do we have? We have a couple of others too. But Forza by far is the most popular one.
Right. Yeah. Right. Do your kids play games at all, or are they into that?
So my daughter's boyfriend helps out quite a bit.
Okay.
In the game trailer.
Okay.
As a game coach. Yeah. So I have a full-time guy, but when he went on a trip with his dad, so he wasn't available. He'll sub in. He'll sub in. Yeah.
That makes sense.
So he's a gamer. My daughter is a little bit, but
more casual. Not really on
that.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, that's cool. Was that a intentional thing that you tried to steer your kids away from growing up, or it just didn't happen?
It just didn't happen.
Fair.
No, I raise my kids that, I want them to have their own thoughts and their own, decisions that they make. And I'm there to guide them. Right. But at some point, as they get older and become adults, they're going to make their own decision, whether it's right or wrong, or you like it or not, as a parent. So you just hope that they make the right decision. Yeah. And,
you just try to set them on the right path.
Try to set them on the right path, right? I never like shield them from things.
Right.
Right. Because I'm not going to be able to protect them forever,
Yeah.
And luckily they've made the right decisions. I mean, they do bonehead things. I mean, they're kids.
Can't help it.
I mean, it happens, right?
Yeah.
My daughter has $50 in her pocket. She'll spend $49.50 of it, right? What do you have saved? I mean, so, but yeah, I don't put too much emphasis on that.
Right. Because it's like you can't make decisions for them anymore. Yeah. The best you can do is just offer wisdom.
Yeah, they're good kids. They're hard workers, and
that's a gift in itself.
That's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that they become good people and
self-sufficient adults, or at least functional adults. Yeah.
I have a 19-year-old, and she's actually pretty good. I wish she'd save a little more, but
saving is a hard discipline to incorporate for sure. Okay, so at this point, we're pretty close to end. Okay. So I always want to end the episode with asking you for two more things. First is, what is a career professional lesson that you are either glad to have learned, that you wish people had told you earlier on, that was hard to learn and overcome? So some sort of professional development lesson that you've learned. And then after that is a overall life lesson, if they're not one and the same, something that you're like, this is something I've learned in my years as a person.
The one thing I can say for the first one is life is short to do the things that you love or that you want to do.
Yeah.
Especially in business, right? I tell my kids this all the time. If there's something you want to do, you pull the trigger, whether you fail at it or not.
Yeah.
Right. If you don't pull the trigger on something, then you're never going to know if it pans out or if it doesn't. There's been a lot of businesses that I've tried that just didn't work. It just didn't work. But you know what? There was another door that opened that did work. Right. So the first one is, pull the trigger.
Yeah. Do something.
Do something. Like I had a conversation with a buddy of mine last night. He owns a bounce house company on the other coast. He says, it was like 9:30. You up? I was like, yeah. He says, I'm going to call you. So he calls me. So he's building something now for the bounce house industry. And this is a perfect example of this. And it's going to end up costing him with tooling and with patents and things like that. It's about $80,000 to shell out.
Yeah.
And he was like, Bill, I have $100,000 in my bank. He says, I'm doing this.
It's a leap of faith.
He says, I need to set myself up for retirement. He's older than I am. And he says, I'm doing it. It's a good example of pulling the trigger, right?
Yeah.
Don't hem haul around. You do it. You're going to make mistakes, but you're going to learn by your mistakes. That's what I instill in my kids. You're going to make mistakes, but as long as you learn by them and you grow, then that's how you become a successful person, right?
It is better to try and fail than to have never tried at all.
Yeah, and I also like the quote, and I tell my kids this all the time too. I'd rather see you shoot high and miss than shoot low and hit.
Yeah.
Right. Don't set your expectations low. Right. Set your expectations high.
Yeah.
Shoot for the stars. If you hit it, it's a bullseye. If not, if you come close, you can build off it. Right.
Yeah.
And I say I've been pretty successful in my ventures. Right. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've had quite a few failed things that I've attempted, but I became a better person for doing it. Right. I've learned things to do. I was like, damn, that was a stupid thing to do, but guess what? I'll never do it again.
Right.
Right. And that's helped me in my businesses that I currently have. And, and I move it over to life, to life things too. I'm not a perfect person. Right. I make mistakes.
What?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go figure.
That's crazy.
So, pull the trigger.
Yeah.
I think you'll be happier in life. And if you fail and you stand up, you brush yourself off and you move on to the next thing. Life's too short not to.
Their life will feel more full for having a lot of attempts
100%.
than having 100% safety net, of never having worried about failure. Yeah, I feel that.
I've had more successes than failures.
Also that. Yeah.
I have.
I can't remember who it was who said it, but someone said, so many people get stuck in the idea of like, what if it goes wrong? But how many times have you asked yourself, what if it goes right?
Yeah. I also like this quote too that I
please.
That I use a lot. And I think Henry Ford said it. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're correct.
A good one to think about,
right? Right. It's the rich man, poor man mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
The power of positive thinking, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah. If you think like a winner, right, you're going to embrace. If you think like a loser, then things are going to fall apart.
Right.
That's why I reach out to my competitors.
Yeah.
I want to be friends with them.
Yeah,
there's enough business to go around for everybody.
The world is full of opportunities. All you got to do is find them.
That's it.
I hear you. All right. Well, Bill, it's been a pleasure. Before we end, go ahead and take a look at the camera. Tell people where to find you, your social, best contact method, that kind of stuff.
So you can find us, you can check out our websites, videogamertruck.com for the video game. You can also go to Foam-nado.com for the foam. All of our information are on the websites, and you can reach us anytime. You can also come by our location anytime in Sarasota. We're off of University and Lakewood Ranch. And hook us up. If there's anything you need, reach out on Facebook, follow us, check out all of our content. There's new stuff practically every day that we post. I say we, it's not me. I don't take charge of that portion of it. That's my wife Susie takes care of all that. So yeah,
good. She's got that covered.
She has it covered for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, Bill, thank you so much for having made the time.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.